Welcome to Living Consciously. You're going to be glad you tuned in today. I have something special for you. We're talking about meditation today, one of the best kept secrets on the planet, but something that could so change life for the better, everyone ought to be doing it. His Holiness the Dalai Lama once said, if we taught every 8-year-old on the planet how to meditate, we'd have world peace in one generation, because it creates emotional stability, clarity of mind, inner peace, and helps us to stay present in this moment where we are really tuned in to our intuition, to greater ideas, to possibility. So today I'm going to talk about what it is, what it isn't, and how to do it. I'll be teaching how to do it in the second half of the show, but I want to start. I've got so much to share with you. I hardly know where to start. I'm going to say one thing first. I've been doing meditation for 40 years. It has completely changed my life for the better. I often refer to my life as before meditation and after meditation. It just cracked my mind open to all kinds of new things to learn. And it made me feel so much better about myself. Well, we'll talk about that when we go through the misconceptions about meditation, why it's so powerful and what you can expect from it. It is a little different for everyone, but there are some things that happen for all of us with regular meditation. Let me start with a quote from Meister Eckhart. If you don't know him, Google Meister Eckhart. He was a mystic in the 13th and 14th century, part of the 14th century. He is so revered in the world of theology, religious scholarship. He was brilliant, and he was saying things that are now coming true via quantum physics and science. So he viewed God as the universe and not as a man in the sky. Here's what he said. This is a quote you might want to write down. I'm going to read it. Nothing so hinders the soul's understanding of God as time and space. Now, again, he's thinking of God as our universe, as this reality that we all share, as our experience of being alive. He says, nothing so hinders the inner self from understanding what it really is to be us, to be alive, than time and space itself. Isn't that interesting? So we're born into this physical world as a physical being, and we immediately walk into the pairs of opposites. Up and down, big and little, black and white, before and after, this and that, the world of form and the world of experience, and it is very seductive. It's real. But as Dr. Ernest Holmes, another mystic in the 20th century, said, it's only as real as it needs to be to give us an experience of being physical in time and space. But there's another reality behind it. Now, most of us have been taught that this is the only reality, and that there may be a beyond, but you don't get there till you die, and it's a little bit nebulous about what it actually is. But no, think about this. This reality could not exist were it not for another reality supporting it, that it is actually arising from. And this is where quantum physics is going when they're talking about the unified field that produces all form. I won't go there today so much. I want to stay focused on this simple practice of meditation. But what it does is help us to experience that other reality. Now, I'm not talking about some weird white light experience. I'm talking about a slow dawning of well-being, a sense, that's essentially what it is, a sense that I am part of something vast, something infinite, something so much greater than who I thought I was. And it just wells up with a daily practice of meditation. And that begins to change our sense of who we are. Now, here's some interesting stuff. You can look up online, and I wish you would. Just Google the benefits of meditation, because over the last 50 years, it has been the most researched of anything having to do with psychology and physicality and all that, having anything to do with spirituality. It is the most researched subject that has ever been researched. And consequently, what has been discovered is that daily meditation is so beneficial that now It's in many school systems around the country. The reason it's now in the school system is because of the data. And children who are meditating just 10 minutes twice a day in school have had almost miraculous benefits from it. Their grades have shot up, their tests are better, the violence in the schools is gone. And a couple of these schools where it was introduced were really failing schools. They were almost ready to close their doors because there was so much violence. And now they're model schools. All they did was teach kids how to meditate. Okay, so let's go through some of the misconceptions, because I know there are many people out there who have them. I hear it all the time. You know, I've been teaching spirituality for 30 years and practicing it for 40, so I've heard it all. Nothing will shock me. And I don't believe anybody's excuses, because I know I've done that myself, right? So some of the misconceptions are, well, here's one. Meditation is about concentration. And most of us don't like to concentrate. And we find it difficult to focus on anything. No, meditation has very little to do with concentration. It's not concentrating, it's allowing. It's allowing your mind to do what it naturally wants to do, which is to float back into its origins. You know, there's an old saying, the mind will always follow what charms it the most. And what charms it the most, believe it or not, is silence. Yes, we love the outer world, and it's very seductive, and we get it, and we're meant to. But it isn't the only thing we're meant to experience. In order for the outer world not to, you know what, remember Jesus said, be in the world, but not of it? In order for us to do that, we have to be on top of the outer world, and that means we have to have an inner sense of that other world that we live in, the one that produces the outer. So meditation doesn't ask us to concentrate hard. It asks us to just sit still. You know my favorite saying about meditation, what it is? I say it's being and not doing. And you know perfectly well that you're a doing being. Okay, so we're just doing stuff all the time, right? And it's fun, and we're enjoying it. However, if we miss the being part, then we soon get sucked in, mired by the world. We're of the world. And we sometimes can feel victimized by it or out of control or just overwhelmed. Anybody ever been overwhelmed with so much doing? Yeah, of course you have. So it's about balance. We want to get the psyche, the mind, and the body back in balance with its true nature. So the mind will follow what charms it the most, and what charms it the most is silence, but we don't give it many opportunities to go there. So again, it's not concentration. It's much easier than concentration. It's allowing, and I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, the second myth is not everyone can meditate, and that's a big lie. Most people, I would say a lot of people, I don't know about most, but a lot of people think meditation is just for Tibetan monks or religious aesthetics. No, meditation is for anybody. In fact, children can do it. They do it all the time. They spontaneously kind of gaze off. We used to call it daydreaming and stuff, but no, it's not that. But anybody can do it. There may be an exception if someone has a serious psychosis, but most of us don't, okay? You don't need much training. I find that when you remove the misconceptions, the mind goes, oh, okay, it's kind of that easy. So it doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter your religious upbringing, it has nothing to do with any of that. It's just a way to give the mind a deep rest where it draws from that well of silence and brings it back into the outer world as I said before, emotional stability, less reactive and more responsive, more intuitive, more creative, healthier. There's a lot of data on what it does to your health. And this is all documented lab stuff. This is not just someone making it up. You can, as I said, Google the benefits of meditation and ask about the physical benefits, because it's been known. It's been known to help people release addictions. It's been known to help smooth out the nervous system, so our galvanic skin responses are faster. We react to outer stimulus faster, but we recover faster. Arthritis is a condition that has been associated with being relieved by meditation, because meditation relaxes the whole body. It goes on and on and on. People who meditate regularly tend to live about 8 years longer than people who don't. Maybe by now it might be longer than that. We tend to age more slowly. It's almost too good to be true, right? It's so simple. And this little practice has been kept from us in the West because people associate it with Eastern religion. It's not a religious practice. It's a natural practice that deep thinkers have brought into their life because they see the benefits of it. All right, the next myth is it encourages escapism. When I first started meditating in 1975, there was a certain group of people that said, oh, you're vegetating, like you're going to become some passive thing that never takes action, and that you'll just be sitting around going, oh, far out. Meditation gives you more energy. I became more engaged with life after I started meditating than I ever had been before, because of the effects of everything I've already said. It gave me more confidence. I felt a little stronger in my self-identity. I was definitely more accessible to the world. And there's something about seeing yourself as greater than the world, literally greater than the world of effects, because you're causing the effects, that gives you a lot of confidence. And so I became less fearful of things and more interested in trying new things and more engaged. It does not make you passive. It creates energy. In fact, you sleep better, think faster, everything gets better. Okay, so don't worry about becoming, some zombie. It ain't going to happen. You're going to be more interested in everything in life if you meditate regularly. I want to stop here and say this about it. It doesn't work if you don't do it. It doesn't work if you just know about it. You have to do it. And you have to do it every day. And because the benefits are cumulative, they build up. It's not like they go away until the next meditation. No, they start building up. There's an old saying, how do you know if your meditation is working? By how you feel when you're not meditating. See, it's not about what happens in the meditation. It's about what happens in your outer life when you're not meditating. Do you feel stronger? Do you feel emotionally stable? Are you less reactive? And a little bit prone now to thinking through things before you just blurt them out. Maybe your ego's a little softer, Or in my case, my ego became stronger because I didn't have one before. Well, of course I did, but I was very passive before I started meditating. I'd had a troubled childhood, and it kind of messed with my self-esteem, as those things do. And so I was afraid of confrontation and conflict, and I avoided, and I was quiet. When I started meditating, I started coming out of myself, and I started developing a real personality. These are just things that are individual for everybody, but in the next segment, I'm going to continue and I'm going to tell you how to do it. So we're going to make a little pause here, push the pause button, so that our wonderful sponsors can come in and share with you information they have just for you. So pay attention and come back, and I'll teach you how to meditate. We'll be right back.
Attention homeowners, apartment complexes and business parks and homeowners associations. Now is the best time to make your property beautiful again. Since 1967, Gonzalez Landscaping has offered beautiful professional landscaping services to all of southern New Mexico. Our team has been designing and installing landscapes for over 47 years. Where quality is an obsession, Gonzalez Landscaping is locally owned and operated. We are licensed commercial, residential specialists dedicated to providing reliable and quality service. We offer residential and commercial landscaping design, full lawn, tree and shrub care, with annuals and perennials, tree and palm trimming, spring and fall cleanups, mulching and more. Let us do the work at prices you can afford. We service all of Las Cruces. We are New Mexico's premier commercial landscaping and residential landscaping company. Visit us online at gonzalesnursery.com or call us for a free estimate. 575-382-7272.
Welcome to La Buena Vida Women's Club, located away from the crowds but close to home. Come in throughout the day for Jazzercise, the world's dance fitness leader for nearly 40 years. Treat yourself to a relaxing massage, or unwind in the lounge area or outside on the balcony with friends. La Buena Vida Women's Club, located and designed with women in mind. For information, call Diane at 650-9721.
Well, we're back. Thanks for joining us again, and we're going to learn how to meditate in this segment. But before we do, I've got a couple more myths I want to dispel. One of them is, well, you know, people tend to complicate meditation. They tend to think it's different than it actually is. So here's one that I hear all the time. I can't stop my thoughts. And I go, I know, nobody can. That's not the purpose of meditation. You're never going to stop your thoughts. They will slow down. And there will be times where you transcend thinking, if you do it regularly, where you're not thinking, but you don't know that until you start thinking again. You don't know you did it until you start thinking. But it helps to, that's what smooths out the nervous system and does all that, not thinking. But that's not the purpose of meditation. Now think of it this way. You're sitting there in meditation, and these thoughts are going, right? Oh, I know that one. Sometimes more than other days. Sometimes they're slower. But let's say it's typical. Boom, boom, boom. It's like a herd of wild horses. Beautiful wild horses, fascinating wild horses. You're sitting on a cliff on a mesa here in New Mexico, and this herd of wild horses goes by, and you're just fascinated with them. Wow, look at those beautiful horses go by. Well, thoughts are like that. Here's the question. Who's watching? Can you watch your thoughts if you are your thoughts? No. You see, you don't want to get on one of those horses and ride it. You just want to observe them moving through your field of awareness. And that's the same with thoughts. So you'll be meditating, you'll be sitting there doing nothing, just doing, not being, and thoughts will arise. And pretty soon you're going to ask yourself, how is it that I can observe my own thoughts? I guess I'm not my thoughts. Last week I talked about the I that you are. That's what's observing your thoughts. Okay, this is highly beneficial to the mind to see that it's not its own thoughts. What does that lead you to understand? If not, I can choose what to think. I can choose my thoughts. This is life-changing. Most people think, I just can't help what I think. Yes, you can. You can change your mind about your past. There used to be a great book in the 70s, maybe the 80s, that said, it's never too late to have a happy childhood. It had to do with changing your mind and reframing things. You can do that, but your mind needs to be a little bit calm to do it. Okay, so that's to dispel the myth that you're supposed to wipe out your thoughts. It's never going to happen, but you do learn to master the moment and go back to the meditation process, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Okay, the next one is, I don't have time to meditate. Well, if you don't have time to meditate, you're too busy. Here's what I know about humanity. I've learned this over the years and watched myself too. We do exactly what we want to do. We find the time and we find the money. You know, I used to work for a company that taught weight loss in a nutritional center kind of setting. And they used to tell us when we were working our sales pitch, as it were, that money's never the obstacle. That but people use money as a way to not do what they don't want to do. Okay, if you want to do something, you will find the money. And you will find the time to meditate. When I learned to meditate, my children were little. They were like 6 and 9 and active, right? I was a single mother. I had to go to work. I learned to meditate, and I had such a wonderful experience that I never wanted to stop doing it. So my children just learned, when mommy's meditating, you just leave her alone. It's only going to take 20 minutes and she'll come back out. It charged my home with a peaceful energy. And people used to walk in and say, wow, this place feels great. What's going on here? I meditate, okay. So you have time. You got 20 minutes in the morning and you've got 20 minutes before dinner. I'm going to talk about how important it is to do it twice a day. Once is great, but if you do it twice, you're going to see some serious results. Okay, so don't tell me you don't have time. I know you do. The other one is meditating is selfish. I'm leaving, I'm going off, and la. Meditation is one of the greatest gifts you can give to the world. And going back to the data and the research, it's been shown clearly that when 1% of any group of people, whether it's the town of Mesilla, Las Cruces, or your community, when they are meditating regularly, the crime rate drops. The school grades go up. Everything is better. The environment is charged with this rippling, peaceful energy that goes out. You see, we have to understand we live in a field. We don't live in a place. We live in a field that is manifesting its place. But that field is where our real reality is. That's why you can know who's calling you on the phone before they do. You can think about someone and they show up. You can pray for someone far away and they feel it. It's because we share that field. Okay, the last myth is it strips us of real emotions and we become passive. No, let me tell you something. Before I started meditating, I think I was numb because of my childhood. I didn't feel much of anything. But when I started meditating, my heart opened. My mind opened. I started, feeling life. It's just wonderful how it does that. I'll say this about meditation. Whatever you need, it gives you. If you need to be more active, you get that. If you're too active, too busy, it gives you a sense of peace where you can choose activities more consciously. Okay, let's talk about how to do it. First of all, you want to sit up. If you lie down when you meditate, you're going to go to sleep because it's deeply relaxing. And some people go to sleep even when they're sitting up. At first, when you first start, you might do that. I always say, hey, it's the best sleep you've ever had. Don't worry about it. Do not set a timer. Your mind knows when time is up. Do not plug your ears or listen to white noise. Do not have music on. See, everybody wants to add all that stuff because it keeps them from actually meditating. And that we're so afraid of what we're going to find in there. The only thing you're going to find in there is love and spirit and your real self. So don't be afraid to try this. So you need nothing but your body and your mind sitting in a chair that supports your back. You want to put your feet on the floor and your hands in your lap. Now, here's the secret. You need a little something for the mind to gently focus on. This is the allowing part. It's called a mantra. And, there's things you can do to quiet your mind down before, like take some deep breaths and stuff, but the actual meditation process is sound and thought. Sound and thought. So you will introduce the sound, and the one I'm going to share with you today is a sound you all know. Hum. Hum. Say it out loud. Hum. Hum. You can feel the vibration in your chest. Now, just internalize it. Say it within. And it's as subtle as this. When you look at the sun and then you close your eyes, it's still there? That's how subtle this is. Okay? So you're not going hum, 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 hum. No, it's just hum. You become aware of this vibration that has a sound. Hum. All right, so you're sitting, you close your eyes, and you let the sound of hum come into your awareness. And then you're going to notice that you start thinking again. You're going to go, oh, there's those horses. I'm thinking. That's okay. You don't judge it. You don't call it bad. You just go, oh, thinking, and you go back to your mantra. Your mantra is hum. It's like, if you want to train a wild horse, You don't go running after it, screaming, stop, 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 stop. You stand still and you hold something in your hand, maybe sugar or a carrot, until it comes to you. You see what the correlation here? Yeah, you can. It makes sense. You stand still and the mind stops moving and it begins to slow down. It's a wonderful experience because when you come back out, you're going to bring that with you. And as I said, more centered, more present, less reactive, feeling more, happier for no reason. This is a little phrase we use when people meditate regularly. They say, I don't know, I'm just happy for no reason. Isn't that great? Happy for no reason, without an object, without a change in the circumstances, without something happening first. That's really what little children feel when they're loved and cared for. They are happy for no reason. This I want for you. This I want for the world. So learn to do this. Tell yourself, I have time. It's worth it. Do it for 20 minutes. Let your mind tell you when 20 minutes is up. You'll be fine. All right. I have loved sharing these ideas with you. And I hope you'll come back every week because it's going to be different every week. Next time, I'm going to tell you how to pray scientifically. Something new, something you've never learned before. Very different based on the newest science. Okay? Take care. Have a wonderful week. And I'll see you next time. Namaste.